Wow. So who are, when we say human beings, does it matter the age of the person?
Oh, my sister, I think we should weep. Do
Hmm.
you know on the 18th of July, during the press briefing of the NAPTIP DG to mark the 20th anniversary of NAPTIP, she said that children clutch to their mother's chest as old as 7 months,
Hmm.
just within a year, below a year, they are being trafficked. They are being used for alms begging, and they pay 3,000 naira per day. So
Wow.
it means there's nobody, even unborn children are trafficked.
Wow.
This has to do with baby harvest, a baby factory.
Hmm.
Unborn, born, and even anybody can be trafficked. It doesn't have any age limit. When I say human being, you know what human being is?
Hmm.
Humans are people breathing that have flesh in them.
Hmm. This is serious. And then, so
It is.
what's the difference? Because somebody is listening right now, and when we say child labor, um, is it different from trafficking?
Very well. Only that children who have been trafficked can be trafficked for the purpose of labor. Okay,
Okay.
let me break it down further.
Okay.
Human trafficking must have three elements: the act, the means, and the purpose. The act, what is being done, recruitment, transportation, harboring, the means, deceit, abuse of power, and purpose, always for exploitations. So if a child is trafficked for labor, for instance, most domestic servants, people who work in houses, can be victims of human trafficking.
Hmm.
So child labor has to do with detrimental and hazardous activities children go through that disrupt their development. Can you see?
Yeah.
Human trafficking too does this, but specifically for labor, it could be labor that it could be in the field. For instance, when you see a child working in quarries, children who work in extractive industries such as building or construction site,
Hmm.
mining, agriculture, children who are hawking in the market, children who are artisans. What will this do to them? It disrupts their development and separates them from learning.
Hmm.
And learning can be formal or informal.
Yeah.
So anything that is physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically detrimental to a child is child labor. Please let me emphasize
Go ahead.
that children work, even in our homes they work. Any work that is soft work is not child labor. At least a child can sweep the floor.
Hmm.
A child can wash the plate. A child can play with the toys and pack it up. You see, a child can just do little things under the supervision of their parents.
Hmm.
But anything that involves high risk for children is child labor.
Wow, this is really serious. It means that the whole lot that we see around our communities, that is child labor, and we are not even understanding that that's what we're doing to the children.
Yes, because when you see those children, you see them during school hours hawking pure water.
Yes.
And look at me, pure water in a transparent bucket. When you calculate, I think pure water is now 15 naira. I don't know if it's 20 naira. When you calculate, it's not even enough to break the cycle of poverty.
Hmm.
So when you see any child in any situation that does not enhance the growth, the development, the survival and participation of that child, which is the four cardinal things that we are talking about when we talk about child protection. That is child labor.
Wow.
A child who is in the brothel. Do you know children are in the brothel now? Do you know that there are children locked up in the brothel somewhere doing blowjob? Children who are exposed to pornography, that's child labor. Because no child should be prostituted in the first instance.
Yes, ma'am. So why do we go through all of this? Why are children going through child labor? Why are people trafficked in the first place?
First and foremost, number one, we're all religious people in Nigeria. There's the realization that children are gifts from God is dead. We don't believe that children are gifts from God. And you know one thing, some victims of this child labor have said it is because of sex selection. Their father our parents wanted a particular sex. So when they came out, for instance, it was maybe they wanted boys, boys, and they kept having girls, girls, girls. I know someone who has 10 girls already because of sex selection. So when we don't know that every child has a purpose to fulfill on earth, regardless of his sex, then that will bring child labor. Because you have to distribute these children. When you can't feed them, when you don't even have the means or wherewithal to take care of 10, 15, 13 children, surely, my sister, let's not deceive ourselves. Something will crop up. And then another purpose is because of there's no social security for us. And if there's social security for parents, if there's support, every household will have enough to eat first. When your stomach is full, then you begin to think, then your brain will work.
That's right.
Some children are actually growing in abject poverty, aside the fact that their parents do not even have what to cater for them. The government does themselves. If the government can give us NEPA bill in those days, if every one of us could get that NEPA bill, why is it so difficult for us to get social securities from our government? And I know this may not happen nationally. It can happen at the state level. It can happen at the local government level. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is 3 tiers of government work. I think social security will be very helpful for us. And then another thing, you say, why is it not working? Because we are not following the guidelines to, for international labor guidelines. For instance, what is the age that a child can be engaged in work?
Yes.
If a child is engaged in work, is the work soft work, like I mentioned? If you have to employ a child, no child under 18 should be employed in any hazardous and harmful job. How can children be working in quarries and they are not in school? And then we are talking about education. I said it earlier that education can be formal or informal. The truth is, it's not everybody that will be able to cope with formal education. So if we can't cope, there should be other alternatives for vocational skills. When education is so expensive, if the government really makes education free and fair and qualitative, as they say, look at the Sustainable Development Goal. Sustainable Development Goal 4, quality education. If that can be given to every child, I think we'll be in a position to learn. And another thing is the working conditions and welfare of those who are working. I, as a parent, you as a father, what is the working condition? You hear we've been arguing of minimum wage, you see? What is the minimum wage? Can it take you home, actually? And I think another thing is more awareness on the issues of child labor. You see, a bigger issue is the issue of laws and protocols. Nigerians have signed into many protocols, for instance, the Convention of the Rights of the Child. If Nigeria said that this is what we have signed into, are we actually implementing it? And my sister, I'm telling you, it's very difficult to implement it because of differences, because of different things and different cultural, religious, issues. Because when it comes to children, they say, is it child right out or child right law?
Yes.
These laws are not being fully implemented in our state and our states. So is it that we prefer children to be babambola? Oh, sorry, it's not baba, it's bobombola. Because you see, it is actually scavenge and go around picking irons. It is children. I think you have seen videos of children sleeping in gutters in broad daylight. That's right. Children sleeping in the streets. Do children fall from the skies, for God's sake, my sister? Do children fall? So we parents have lost it out. Parents are no longer responsible. So if the parents are not responsible, what is the state doing? What is the government doing? What are we doing as individuals? You say we are shouting.
Now,
for instance, for us, we know we are rehabilitating victims of human trafficking, and the capacity that WOTCLEF has is 30. We can't take beyond 30. So if it's 30, that means we can't go beyond that. So I think it is the responsibility of everyone. Like the media, I appreciate what you are doing this morning.
Thank you. So sometimes you hear, especially before we go into a little of the trafficking, when you hear, you see a little child working for a particular person, they say, "Na the pikin bring himself, na in one work." So you hear things like that. I don't know how WOTCLEF and you as an individual, how do you handle such cases?
Okay, they will say na pikin na one work, abi.
Yes.
My sister, there is no way a child can give consent. It is there in our laws. Children can't give consent. What does consent mean? Consent means I understand, I fully know, I know the implication, and this is my responsibility. My sister, children cannot. So it is you or me or anyone that is engaging children that is guilty, not the child itself. Because I know some parents are very deceitful. They will push their children to the front. How can you see a child standing in front when you come out of your place of worship, standing and begging you, holding the stomach, and never chopped since yesterday? You will not, you definitely, you may not want to.
Hello? Hello? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Let me try to reach her again, even though we're coming to the concluding part of the program. So let me try and reach her so that let's get her concluding part on the program before we call it a day on the program. It is a Consign Me radio program right here on Eagles 102.3 FM, and it will take place every Saturday from 12 to 12:30. We have the radio drama, and then we get into the discussion where we have different guests and they'll be sharing with us. Now, let me quickly say this, that if you're listening right now and you want to share any information with us, you feel something, an information that we need, to be able to help somebody out there. Are you a young person and you feel that you've been, you've been labored beyond your person as a child, or you know someone and we need to call them to order? Please, can you send me a text message right now on 0913 359 1611. Is there anything you want us to talk about as a matter of urgency? Somebody is trying to lure someone and you know about it, or somebody is trying to tell you, look, there's an opportunity out there and you suspect that it is one of those cases that we're talking about here, then you should please send me a message right now on 0913 359 1611. 0913 359 1611. This is our helpline, and I assure you that we will not mention your name. You are safe if you give us any information. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, the line is breaking again. So let me try to call you again.
Okay.
Yes. So whatever information you share with us, you are safe, okay? We need you to be safe. We need you to be the best of who you are. If you know anyone who is keeping all those children in a particular place and you feel this is your responsibility, I need to make sure that these children are safe. Your number is safe. Your name is safe. Your person is safe. Just make sure that you give us the right information, please. 0913 359 1611. That is 0913, then 359 1611. And if you want to find out more information, please do feel free to reach me on this number as well. All right, so I'm trying to call Madam Imaobong, and let me try one more time. The network has been terrible today, and unfortunately, you can't watch us today on Facebook, but please join us next week Saturday. The network has been terrible. I don't know what's going on, but we will be able to do that. Also, on the program, we'll be giving you some news on what's happening around the world on trafficking. So while I wait for the call to come in so that we don't rush some of these information, let's let you know. Okay, so the phone is ringing. Hello, ma'am. Yes, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me too?
Yes, we can absolutely hear you. So we want to take your final words, even though our time is fast spent, and it's just a 30-minute program. So what would you recommend, especially when it comes to child labor?
My final word is, if the global data says that there are 12 to 15 million children that are in child labor, and one out of these kids are that 43% kids in Nigeria are stuck in child labor, then it is an outcry. We need to do something fast. Let's give education to children. Let's empower children. Let's also empower households so that they can help their children. You understand? Let's also make sure that the social security is an issue we look into. Let the traditional, the religious leaders, who are gatekeepers, who are custodians of all these laws that we are saying is conflicting with other laws. Let us work together. Because if we truly want the development of our children, no one will want to stand in their ways.
That's right.
All children need is love and care. And above all, let's give birth to the number of children that we know that we can cater for. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we hope to have you again soon on the program.
Pardon?
I said we hope to have you again soon on the program.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We really appreciate. We've been talking with Imaobong, Ladipo Sanusi, and she's given us some tips right there. And I've given us the numbers. Now, let me quickly let you know a little of trafficking news right here. The headline says, Libya jails 38 over deaths in Mediterranean Sea sub-smuggling case. A court in eastern Libya has sentenced 5 people to life in prison after they were convicted of human trafficking over the deaths of 11 migrants and refugees who were on a rickety boat trying to cross the Mediterranean to Europe. The office of Libya's chief prosecutor said the court in the city of Abuja also sentenced 9 other defendants to 15 years in prison each on Monday. The office of General Prosecutor El Sadiq Al-Sawr said in a statement another 24 suspects were jailed for a year, the statement added. And that is where we wrap up today on the program It Concern Me radio program with radio drama. Please let us make our society safe. The people who traffic your child and my neighbor's child are so connected around the world. Let us be connected together to build a better place. Until we come your way again next week with another edition of the program. My name is Dell.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.